you doing?
Welcome back, TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. Wyatt Reed, as we get ready for the JV game here this evening. That voice you heard just as we went on the air, I should say, was none other than the head coach of the A-Town Tornado varsity squad. That would be head coach Brent Dugan joining us. Coach, congratulations, picking up a massive win here tonight against Annawan to wrap up the regular season. I know you probably don't have much of a voice left, but
yeah, I was getting ready to say, what voice are you talking about? Because I think like the girls did, they left it out on the court, and we sure coached them up as hard as we could, and I thought they responded real well, especially in the second half. First half was kind of a disaster of where we needed to be and win, but got it figured out and played really well. And sorry to interrupt you there, but
no,
I was thinking, what voice did I have left?
Yeah,
but,
you definitely left it all out there, and there were some questionable things which we may get into, we may not. We kind of just want to focus on what an unbelievable game that is, as the JV game about to start here. As where do we start? Let's start with that first half. Things just really weren't going your way. You trailed most of the first half. I think you trailed actually the entire game until the fourth quarter, but especially there in that first half, it was tough going. What were they doing that was kind of throwing you guys off there in that first half?
Well, our spacing wasn't where we needed it to be, and obviously getting Kennedy in the middle of the floor, which is what we did at halftime to adjust to what Annawan was doing to us. Was one of our things we changed there at halftime. And then we still didn't do it at times, which was real frustrating. But anyway, long story short, the girls did adapt and adjust very well, especially there in the second half. And obviously we just kept in it. I said, we're down 9 points at halftime, and we did it to ourselves. And I'm not taking anything away from Annawan, because that's not how I even want to talk about that, because they did a great job, and they put you in situations to turn the ball over. And obviously that's what we did more times than what we got in good sets. But also we could see where they're exposed, and once we saw that and attacked that areas, and we're like a dentist. You got to attack the cavities of the defense. And then once we did that, I felt a lot better about our second half and our effort there.
Well, and when you're playing against two girls that were out there on the floor most of the ball game, Kaylee Sealis and Zoe Vance, both of them are right around that 6-foot range. You guys had a lot to deal with here tonight, and you were able to get the job done. What kind of adjustments were made there in the second half where you guys were able to pick away at that 9, sometimes 10-point lead there?
We dug down into the low post a little bit, dug down on that a little bit just because of our lack of height. We've had to do that from time to time. We went to a zone there in the second half, and that gave us a little bit better, spacing on defense, and we reacted better, and we trapped out of certain situations, and obviously when they went to certain spots. And I thought our girls did a very good job of rotating, especially in that second half. I can't even begin to talk about how that second half was just so much better and how we did things.
Well, and we're talking to the head coach of the A-Town Tornado varsity team. That would be head coach Brent Dugan joining us here this evening. And after the 66-62 double overtime win for the A-Town Tornadoes to wrap up the regular season, they're down the line. And again, we don't really want to take too much away from that winning effort, but it seemed like free throws again were an issue there. Kind of could have hit some free throws that could have maybe saved us from going to double overtime, but down there at the very end of the ball game, though, Kennedy Quinn was able to get some big free throws there for you guys.
She did, and I just thought, dig deep not only in your effort, but reward your effort with making free throws and becoming fundamentally sound, which when you say that in the course of a game, fundamentally sound means take care of the basketball, rebound the ball, play defense, and then make your free throws. There's a reason why they call them free.
Yeah,
right?
That's exactly right. As, again, head coach of the A-Town Tornadoes, Brent Dugan, joining us here. So, again, down the stretch, it kind of felt like Annawan might have tightened up there a little bit. What did you see from your girls there tonight as the game really got tense? It really felt like a playoff atmosphere here tonight. The crowd got into it. The student section was losing their mind. Annawan's crowd was losing their mind from time to time. What
the radio guy was losing his mind.
I was, man. It was crazy up here. We were all having fun. Playoff atmosphere, though. What did you see from your girls, especially as you wrap up the regular season? What did you see from them tonight?
Good point. Why we wrapped up the regular season, and honestly, that's how we talked about this game yesterday in practice. We talked about it in our pregame that, hey, girls, there is going to be an atmosphere here tonight that we got to just absorb and take it in and understand that every game that we goes forward is going to be that big a game, that big a crowd, and that big a situation.
Talking to the head coach of the A-Town Tornadoes, Brent Dugan. Obviously some questionable calls there, but, you know, I felt like the officials were kind of consistent in their calling throughout most of the game. There was a lot of contact that they kind of let go. What did you think of the officiating there outside of the time to time where you were pretty red? You were about as red as my hoodie here tonight,
I feel like I'm still red. Well, and I know a couple of those guys, and I just felt like there's a couple times that, you know, we ask these young ladies to keep their composure and not get too big in the moment and really concentrate the whole time. And, you know, that's what we're asking of them. And I thought sometimes the referees, and I would tell you, not just from the A-Town side, but also from the Annawan side, there was times where just they just kind of fell asleep, or they were not ready for a timeout, or they just weren't ready for a situation, which that is frustrating as a coach when they're working their tails off and they're calling a foul on a hustle play.
Right.
And that goes both sides. I'm not just saying A-Town didn't get the calls. It was Annawan didn't get some of those calls.
Yeah.
I thought we traveled a couple times, especially late in the game.
Yeah.
There's a couple
we
travels.
had people in the comment section arguing that.
Yeah,
so.
there's some travels that weren't called. Now those travels, they can say what they want, didn't affect the play because we missed the shots. But they should be called, and I can't argue with any Annawan fan at all there. In fact, there was a couple times I even said, hey, both sides are going to be talking about this. You guys aren't concentrating, and the girls are playing their tails off, and there needs to be a reward situation here where you guys are also concentrating. Now, I will tell you this. You know, you can have a bad night and have a bad day, and sometimes some of the things that were going on out there, it's tough to get everything right, you know.
Yeah.
So got to understand
like I
that
said,
too.
A lot of things were flying there in this game. That playoff atmosphere, maybe even they weren't ready for an atmosphere like tonight.
That may be true too, you know, and I know – one of them's coming back from being sick, so I don't want to give him excuses, but that also plays a factor too, where he's not in his.
It does.
He's not in his late season, mid season form. He's still kind of getting used to it, and it's good to see him out there. You know, he's actually a guy I know from a younger age, and it's good to see him back out there. And again, we can all take steps back and take this in and say, you know what, that ref cost us this, that, and the other. But there's probably a time where we didn't box out as a player, we didn't make the right play with the right pass, or those kind of situations. You got to be honest with yourself all the way around. And you probably could blow the whistle a lot out there tonight just on certain calls, and some of the main players might have been out of the game, and you wouldn't have enjoyed that game as much as we did.
That's a very good point. Head coach of the A-Town Tornadoes, Brent Dugan. Coach, I'll get to a couple more questions here. One person we have to talk about, Haley Redding. She was held scoreless in the first half, finished the game with a game-high 24 points. I mean, the shots she was hitting were immense pressure on her. Obviously, you know, you guys were looking to get her going there, especially early in that second half. What did you think of her performance there tonight, finishing with that game high after being held scoreless in the first half?
I thought she rushed a couple shots in the first half. I thought, and there you go, our spacing again was not the greatest. So therefore, if spacing's not good, then Haley doesn't have a good shot in the corner. Once we got better space, I thought as soon as that happened, then she saw one go down, and she's that type of shooter. She sees one going down. It's lights out after that because she can shoot the basketball. And then, of course, she's upset. You know, she's upset because she missed the last second shot in regulation. She missed the last second shot in overtime. And I will tell you, she did travel. But she's upset herself like that. I'm like, girl, you got us to this point.
Yeah.
Okay, you just keep playing defense. And that was her second half defense was the best I've seen her play in a long, long time. And I told her that. I said, you're so worried about the points, and that's not so much the problem. It's the extra plays and the tip passes and the deflections, so we can regroup and reposition ourselves. Those are keys. And the other thing is, you're talking about high school kids, so that pass gets deflected. You're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't pass it in there this next time because it just got deflected, and maybe that's not the pass I want. You know, so you know there's that kind of stuff going on in these kids' minds, and trust me, I've been there. I know that. And as a coach, you try to talk them out of those situations. But, yeah, what Haley did tonight was extraordinary with Kennedy finding her, too. You got to look at it that way. The other players finding her. I thought Haley took us in the second half, and who had a bigger shot than what Kennedy did when we were down 3 points, 55-52, and drilled that three. And great screening, by the way. Emma recognized that they were overplaying that, and Kennedy ran the flare, and sure enough, there was a flare screen, which was perfect. So, as far as execution go, you can't ask much more for a coach.
No, not at all.
Especially when you're not calling a timeout on that play, you know?
Head coach of the A-Town Tornadoes, Brent Dugan, joining us. One more question, Coach, and we'll let you go here as we wrap up the third quarter. Obviously, as there's a three right before the end of the buzzer there. Nice shot for Brenna Harker. So that'll make the score 9-6 after one quarter of basketball here in the JV game. But Coach Dugan, your attention turns to Saturday afternoon game against Princeville in the regional quarterfinals. What can we expect there? It was a close game last time you guys played. And what are you expecting from Prince's coming into town here?
Brody, right? She's going to get the basketball. We all know that. They know it. They don't even hide it. That's the template to their team. Obviously, they have some other players play some factors in the offense, but obviously you got to stop her. You limit her and give her trouble getting the basketball. And I think guard pressure's got to be a little bit better. But I'll tell you this. I think we were up 10 in that game at one point in time. They fought their way back. You're not going to – Princeville's a great team. You're not going to beat them bad. You're just not going to.
Right.
You look at all their scores. They got, 10 losses or something like that. But you look at all 10 losses. They're in each and every game from Annawan to West Central to A-Town. And that kind of team and how they play, they say, hey, here's how we're going to play. You got to adapt to us. So we got to do a little bit of that. I think also we got to say, hey, here's how we play. You got to adapt to us too, like that. So I'm looking forward to that game, and it'll be a great atmosphere. Come out if you're not doing anything at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
And what can a win like tonight's win, especially to wrap up the regular season, what can a win like tonight's win do for you guys going into that game on Saturday?
Well, I mean, that's a confidence win, right? You just beat the three Class A 1A team, third in the state. You just beat them on your court now, granted. And, yeah, there was calls that didn't go one way or another, and you can say that. But I really feel like that can propel you right into the postseason, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to propel us right into the postseason. We got a tough practice tomorrow, and then we're going to come back Friday, and then obviously Saturday get ready for a big game here. And then we got to make a quick turnaround if we win and go play West Central at Princeville. So, I'm looking forward to all this. I know the girls are. I just hope that, all these big games we're playing, that we can perform at a high level like we have been.
He's the head coach of the A-Town Tornado varsity squad. Has a nice three there, top of the key for Miley Weber. She's up to 5 points here in this JV contest. Coach, we'll let you go. Congratulations on tonight's win, and best of luck on Saturday. We'll talk to you Saturday after the regional quarterfinal. How's
Thank you, sir. Yep.
We appreciate you coming on here, Coach. Coach Dugan joining us here throughout the first quarter. We certainly appreciate that as the three goes up, no good. And right side offensive rebound. The shot goes. That one nearly banked in. And we'll get some names out there for you. Jumper on the way. That is Tyra Church. Another offensive rebound for Annawan. And the rebound fought for, scrapped and won. Here comes Tiana Hamilton for A-Town. 6-minute quarters. That's why that was a rather quick first quarter, but always good to talk to the head coach of the A-Town Tornadoes after the fact. We appreciate him giving us that much time. Obviously, I told you we had a lot to talk about in that game. As a shot, that's a big shot right there for Annawan. As a three goes up, Aaliyah Whitty makes that one. And the lead is down to 2. High scoring affair here in the JV game, which is not something we're accustomed to saying throughout since the time that we've gotten these modified JV games, these 6-minute quarters. Don't usually see a lot of offense in those games, but we got a lot of offense here. 12-10 is our score, as it's a left wing three on the way for Annawan for the lead. That one's no good by Bryn Harker, and the rebound comes out. And it will be, I think it's out of bounds off of Annawan, so it'll be A-Town basketball. Brandon, while we were talking to Coach, did bring up an interesting point. Annawan was actually up in the final polls, which Coach, I think, highlighted possibly the third-ranked team in Class 1A. So just getting that win here tonight for the varsity squad, just incredible the amount of effort that they put in here tonight and pulling off that win to wrap up the regular season, to propel them potentially into the regional quarterfinal Saturday. And again, Saturday we'll have the broadcast here, 3 o'clock. Plan on coming on the air. We'll see. We'll try to get on 5, maybe even 10 minutes early if we get enough time. I'm going to get here early enough. It's a Saturday. I don't have to work. I'll be here as early as I need to be to get as much prep. So let's try to plan on a 5:50 pregame show, or 2:50 pregame show for a 3 o'clock start. There's a three. That is, I think that's Corey Anderson. They said Addison Anderson. No, that is Addison Anderson. Addison Anderson, the senior, getting some playing time here in the varsity. in the JV game, I should say. So I'll add her to my score sheet. She's a senior, so that's why I'm a little caught off guard there, but she got a 3. But when your JV squad is dealing with just low numbers, Avery Stiegel played a ton in that double overtime game. There's the top of the key. There's a 3 on the way from Miley Weber. That's up and good. Miley Weber's hit 2 threes here in the first half. And A-Town now has an 18-10 lead. 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. So my apologies, saying Annawan was ranked number 6 throughout most of the game. Turns out they might be number 3 in the state, which is crazy. You beat the number 3 team. I don't care if it's on your home court. You beat the number 3 team in the state on your home court. You're going to be feeling pretty good going into the regionals. Aaliyah Whitty, another free throw on the way. That one's up, no good. Offensive rebound, put back. And that one also no good by Ella Anderson. Ella Anderson, if my memory serves me right, she is rather tall, 6 feet tall. So another 6-foot option for the Bravettes, as that one's thrown out of bounds. Addison Anderson turning that one over. Good to see Addison Anderson out on the floor here. Senior, celebrated senior night. I meant to talk about her senior night to coach, and I forgot to do that. My apologies. 2:33 to go here in the first half as the shot goes up, no good. Offensive rebound, put back, no, by Anderson. She's got it back again, and the rebound comes out to Corey Anderson. So Addison and Corey out there at the same time. 2:20 to go. There is Anna Servin into the corner, Weber. Up top, there's a 3 on the way. That is rattled home. It's Anna Servin. Anna Servin with a 3, and the lead is 21-10 with 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Final JV game of the season for the A-Town Tornadoes. As a nice pass, the shot goes up. That one's no good. Offensive rebound again by Annawan. Can't get the shot to go. Rebound goes to A-Town this time. Here they come. Left side, there's Addison Anderson going to try it again. That one's no good. Offensive rebound, Corey Anderson puts it back up and in. Good positioning by Corey Anderson to get underneath the basket and throw that one right back up and in. Minute and a half to go here in the first half. It's 23-10. JV side coming in off a tough loss against Knoxville last time I was here, about a week ago. As the shot goes up, that one's up and good by Aaliyah Whitty. They're going to say Witt. That's what the PA announcer's saying. I think almost every Annawan fan left after that double overtime game. There is maybe 3 Annawan fans in attendance here for this JV game. As a foul is called. That one should be on A-Town. Oh, no, that'll be on Annawan, excuse me. It is on Witt. She's not a fan of the call. She'll check out. .8 seconds to go here in the first half, 23-12. Good news is I have been keeping track of the scoring numbers, as that one's no good for Tiana Hamilton. While talking to Coach, I've been able to, was able to update the score sheet as well. Miley Weber gets the rebound for A-Town. 33 seconds to go, and that one zinged up the floor, and it'll be a turnover as the foul is called with 29.1 seconds to go. 23-12. My apologies. Bravettes had another foul, or another point, I should say, that I did not update. I had it on my score sheet. I just didn't update it on the scoreboard. Good performance here from the A-Town Tornadoes here in the final JV game of the season as the shot goes up and in by Aaliyah Hayes. And Aaliyah Hayes onto the score sheet for the first time. That cuts the lead down to single digits. 10 seconds to go. Tiana Hamilton, 6 seconds. Gets it to Miley Weber. Into the corner. There's Addison Anderson. She'll shoot up another one. No good. 1 second left. That's how the first half will come to an end. 23-14 our score as we have played 2 quarters of basketball. One more half to go on the regular season. And we'll talk about this and get you ready for the second half. It's a shorter halftime. Do remember that. So don't go anywhere. 5 minutes during halftime. We'll take a quick break and back after this on TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back, TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. Wyatt Reed on the call here as we are at the half of the A-Town Tornadoes and the Annawan Bravettes in the JV contest after just one of the craziest games you will ever see here in Abingdon for the varsity game, which kicked off our evening, a double overtime thriller. And the A-Town Tornadoes take home a 66-62 win over Annawan here tonight. And boy, I just again when I got the chance to talk to Coach, we didn't know where to start. Of course, he wanted to start early, where A-Town wasn't playing all that well in the first half, and then of course talk about the rally. And we talked a lot. If you missed the interview, we talked to Coach Dugan throughout the entire first quarter. So make sure you scroll back and check that out if you would like. But we are at the half of the JV game, and a lot of action going on here in the JV game as Miley Weber leads the way. She's got 8 points here in the first half. A couple of threes as Avery Stiegel also got two baskets. She's got 4 points. Tiana Hamilton with a 3, Anna Servin with a 3, Addison Anderson with a 3, and Corey Anderson got 2 points. So a lot of scoring here. The only player on the JV roster to not score is Caden Quinn, but I don't think I've seen her on the floor much here tonight. So probably a good reason for that, because she played a lot in the double overtime game just before this. So that would have something to do with it. Let's take a look at the Annawan scoring leaders. It's Aaliyah Witt. She's got 5 points to lead the way for the Bravettes. 4 points for Tyra Church, 3 points for Bryn Harker, and 2 points for Aaliyah Hayes. That is the scoring breakdown here for both sides in the first half. And a quick moving halftime, only about 1:50 left here in half. Let's talk real quickly, though. We talked about it with Coach, and of course, let's focus the attention a little bit to Saturday. And in case you missed it, the regional quarterfinals will be played here at A-Town, as the A-Town Tornadoes will take on the Princeville Princes. And that will be a 3 o'clock start on Saturday afternoon. So we'll hopefully go on the air around 2:50. I am going to go home and do some homework, so I'll have plenty to talk about. And we're going to have a 10-minute little pregame before we get things going. I mean, 10 minutes is a lot of time when you're talking about a high school game where you don't necessarily have all the statistics in front of you. But maybe I'll even send a message to Coach Dugan and see if I can get season stats or something like that.
No, you can't. You're not allowed.
Well, I'm going to try anyway, as my camera girl Alyssa is getting a little mouthy here tonight. It's been a blast having her this season. I hope not. I'm just kidding, of course. We've had some fun all season. Of course, we worked during the football season together and the volleyball season. So we've had a lot of chats, a lot of picking on one another. It's been a fun year.
I
Asking if I'm going to be here next year. I certainly hope so. Nice shot to start off the third quarter.
Or I will find your house.
You're going to have to go a long way to find my house. Shot goes up and good. I didn't see who that was by. I believe that was Bryn Harker. It was. She's up to 5 points. Inside pass kicked out. Tiana Hamilton, pump fake, drives, kicks it out. Good ball movement. Addison Anderson, right wing three on the way. That's up and good. Addison Anderson, she's got 6 points, both shots from the three-point line. So she's got 6. And the lead is back to a 10-point lead, 26-16. When I say 23-14 was the halftime score. But yeah, make sure you join us Saturday evening, or Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock. Be the tip-off. If you can't be in attendance, make sure you join us here on TSSR. And then after that, if you're an A-Town fan, I don't know what the plan is. I don't know if they're going to send somebody to Princeville or not. If they were to win Saturday night, they go to Princeville on Monday to take on West Central. I would assume maybe they get somebody there, but won't be me. That game starts at 6. I work till 4:30. Princeville's about an hour and a half from where I live. No, it is not 6 in the morning. 6 in the evening on Monday night. Driving, putting up the shot. That one's no good by Tyra Church. And the rebound comes out to A-Town.
I don't listen to you half the time, and I just heard 6 o'clock. I was like, I'm not about to be up at 6 o'clock.
Fair enough, fair enough. Should put a mic on Alyssa here, have her chat with us here. Top of the key, there's a 3 on the way for Addison Anderson. That one's no good. I would have to probably run that by the old boss man, but I think you do get picked up on my mic since you're so close. She's sitting right to my right, so it is getting picked up some. So as long as you don't swear, I'm okay. Shot goes up. That one's no good. Offensive rebound. Put back. Rattles home. Nice play by Aaliyah Witt. And Witt has got 7 points to lead the way for the Bravettes as the lead is down to 8. 3:52 to go. Quarter number 3. Here's Tiana Hamilton. Turns around. Gets it to Addison Anderson. Into the corner. There's Miley Weber. Jumper no good. Might not be a good idea. I think he's got another game going on. 3:35 to go. Annawan with the basketball. That is Aaliyah Hayes. Picks up the dribble. Gets it to Ella Anderson. Ella Anderson, by the way, 6 foot tall. And she throws that one away. I'm kind of surprised she's not been inside more. Trying to go to her. Annawan's got some tall girls. I'm sure their volleyball team is ridiculously good. As there's a steal. Nice play by Tiana Hamilton to get back and stop the fast break. 3:07 to go here in the third. Should be a good one. Number 6 versus number 7 in the seeding on Saturday night.
I broke my knee.
6 versus 7. And then the winner gets the number 1 seed in West Central. West Central's had a ridiculously good year. They finished number 1. They get the number 1 seed, excuse me. Yet they don't host the regional. Princeville got the hosting site. Nice pass inside, lays it up and in. That's Witt once again. Witt is up to 9 points. And the Bravettes are cutting into the lead here a little bit. That lead is down to just 6 as the shot goes up. That one's no good by Miley Weber. Who is that, Miley, or is that Haley Redding? That's Miley Weber, and she's got something in her nose. Must be dealing with the bloody nose as a bump and a foul called. First foul here in the third quarter, 26-20. I didn't see what happened to Miley Weber, but dealing with the old nosebleed here tonight. So she's got a little cotton ball. I don't know if you can see it from up here. Camera angle. Maybe we'll get a close-up as we... Nice pass inside. Avery Stiegel misses the layup. And Ella Anderson comes away with the rebound and a whistle and a foul called on A-Town. 2:21 to go here, quarter number 3. That one stripped and stolen away. Avery Stiegel gets it to Miley Weber, who lays it up and in. Miley Weber into double figures. She's got 10. Lead back up to 8, 28-20. Whistle and a carry called on Annawan. Crowd is thinned out here. It was a wonderful atmosphere here, though, for the varsity game here tonight. I expect the same, if not better, on Saturday afternoon. Regional quarterfinal. Princeville coming to town. Inside pass, nice pass to Miley Weber, who lays it up and in again. Miley Weber been getting some open looks here tonight. Lays that one up and in, and it's 30-20. Back to a 10-point lead, which I believe is the biggest lead of the game for A-Town. They've had it on a couple of occasions here tonight. They might have had an 11-point lead at one point, but if it was when Coach and I were chatting. Always appreciate Coach Dugan joining us after the varsity games, which is kind of interesting because I feel like he wants to watch his JV girls and maybe do a little bit of coaching, even though he's not listed as the official head coach of the JV squad. He's watching his girls, though, for potentially next year. A lot of these girls will be in the varsity squad, I think. If my memory serves me right. There's a jumper on the way. It's no good by Anna Servin. She will be a junior next year, so Servin will likely be in the varsity roster. Avery Stiegel will be a junior next year. Miley Weber will be a sophomore. I think Miley Weber, though, might get some playing time. We'll see how that all plays out. I mean, it's going to be tough to get some playing time if you're any of these JV girls with a bunch of the girls coming back. Addison Anderson, the only one not coming back. As the shot up and good by the Bravettes. That shot was good. I didn't see who got the shot, though. Into the corner it goes. Tiana Hamilton. There's a three, and that one is good. Tiana Hamilton with her second three. That makes it 33-22. Biggest lead of the ball game. And there's a jumper. Nice answer. Ella Anderson with another three. She's got 5 straight points for the Bravettes. And the lead's back down to 8. Up top, Servin gets it into the corner. There's Anderson. Into the corner, there's Miley Weber. Another jumper on the way. That one no good. Just got a notification on the old phone. Basketball-related news. Big Ten-related news, which might be good news for Illinois in their run to try to take the Big Ten title. As whistle and a tie-up called with 6 seconds to go. Michigan upsets number 11 Wisconsin today, 72-68. And the Badgers their 3rd straight conference loss. So pretty much Wisconsin's out of the Big Ten race, you would think, with a team like Purdue. 1 second left. Annawan not going to be able to get a shot off, and that'll end our 3rd quarter of basketball. 1 more quarter to go. Got a good one here in the JV game, as we've got a 33-25 game. Back after this, you're watching TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back. TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. Start of the 4th quarter. The A-Town Tornadoes with an 8-point lead. 6 minutes on the clock. They will start with the basketball as well. They fling it into the corner. It's Tiana Hamilton. A-Town leading scorer Miley Weber. She is into double figures. 12 points. Annawan wanted to travel, but they get it anyway, so the ball don't lie. Something I say all the time. Usually is true. Tip and stolen away. Anna Servin comes away with it. 5.5 to go here in the fourth. Again, if you're just joining us, varsity game ending in double overtime. That's why we're a little bit later here this evening as that shot goes up and good. It's Avery Stiegel. She just took that ball away and put it back up and in. Nice play by Avery Stiegel. Pushes the lead back up to 10. And another good defensive sequence here. Taken away Avery Stiegel, but she traveled with it. .5:01 to go here in the fourth. Inbounds play goes to Ella Anderson, who just holds the ball over everybody, which you can do that when you're 6 feet tall. 3 on the way for Ella Anderson. That one's no good. Rebound comes out to Servin. 4:45 left here in the fourth. Into the corner it goes. Tiana Hamilton, a 3 on the way. That one goes in again. It's Tiana Hamilton. She's got 3 threes. The lead is up to 13. It's 38-25. 4.5 to go here in the fourth. And nice pass inside. That one off the front of the rim. Good look by Witt. Rebound comes out to A-Town. Here's Miley Weber. Gets it inside to Stiegel. Extra pass, Corey Anderson. She lays it up and in. Everybody getting involved here today. And the only person that's not on the only person on the JV roster that doesn't have points is the only girl who hasn't played today, as that shot goes in by Ella Anderson. And the lead is down to 13. It's, oops, I missed a point here. 40-27 is our score. There's Tiana Hamilton, another 3. That's no good. Rebound goes to Annawan. But yeah, Caden Quinn is the only girl on the JV roster that hasn't scored, and that's only because she hasn't played in this game. Have not seen her yet on the floor. Saw her doing warm-ups at halftime, but imagine she's resting up after that double overtime game. As a fight, Avery Stiegel comes away with it. The tie-up possession arrow will keep it here. Addison Anderson checking in. Avery Stiegel needing to reset her hair a little bit. As the shot on the inbounds pass, Ella Anderson, that one off the top of the backboard. And Miley Weber takes it away. She's all by herself the other way. She's going to lay it up, and that one's good. Miley Weber, another open look. Miley Weber's got 14 points here in this JV contest. 3 minutes to go here in the fourth. Anderson gets it inside to Witt. Turnaround shot. That one banked home. Aaliyah Witt into double figures. She's had a pretty good showing. 42-29. Coming up on 2.5 to go. Miley Weber, free throw line. She's feeling it. And she gets another one. Miley Weber's got 16. When you're hot, you are hot. And Miley Weber, red hot from the floor here today. Into the corner it goes. There's a 3 on the way for Annawan. It is no good. Shot by Tyra Church. Ella Anderson, though, gets the offensive rebound and puts it back up and in. Ella Anderson with 9 points. As that pass goes to Miley Weber, she's feeling it, and that one's no good. That was a heat check from the free throw line. 44-31, under 2 minutes to go. Inside to Witt, kick back out. There's another 3 on the way for Church. That is no good, off the hands of Hayes. That's Aaliyah Hayes, losing it out of bounds. Brianna Harker will check back into the game for Annawan, the Bravettes. 1:40 left here in the fourth. Into the corner, there's Addison Anderson. Boy, she's shooting it, and she got another one! Addison Anderson, another 3. She's got 9 points today, all from the three-point line. And it's 47-31. 1:20 left in the fourth. There's a shot. That one, a wild shot, no good. Offensive rebound goes to Hayes. Might have got away with the travel there, but rebound goes nonetheless to A-Town. 1 minute to go as that one thrown into the backcourt and over and back. .7 seconds to go here in quarter number 4. Nice play by Miley Weber to reach in and steal that one away. But then she loses it out of bounds. So it'll be a turnover after getting a turnover. And the A-Town JV team is 45 seconds away from wrapping up their regular season with a win. There's Ella Anderson. That shot no good as the offensive rebound shot no good. Bryn Harker asking where's the foul. Didn't get it. 42.1 seconds to go. Inbounds pass goes to Harker. Harker hit a big shot in the varsity game off the bench. Fight for the basketball. Who's got it? Tie up. A-Town will have it with the possession arrow. 32.7 seconds to go. Much quieter crowd considering probably used all their energy on the earlier game. Double overtime thriller. A-Town coming back from a 10-point deficit and winning the game. Addison Anderson, that's her spot. No good on the shot. 18 seconds to go. Out of bounds. And a foul, the first foul called. Inbound play goes to Annawan, the Bravettes, with 10 seconds to go, and the A-Town JV squad set to wrap up the regular season with a win. Ella Anderson, the offensive rebound, halfway down and out. The rebound goes out of bounds, and that is going to end tonight's ball game. See you Saturday. How's that sound?
What time do I have to be here?
As long as you're here, 3 o'clock tip-off, that's all that matters.
All right.
3 o'clock tip-off on Saturday. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. As the A-Town Tornadoes take home a 47-31 win over the Annawan Bravettes. Not near as exciting as the varsity game was, but nonetheless, what a year it has been covering these A-Town Tornadoes, really both sides. I mean, you saw a lot of growth from the JV side, which Coach Brent Dugan has got to be thrilled about. You know, he's got some players that are going to get some more playing time. I don't know, man. It's still going to be hard to crack that starting lineup, dealing with the fact that you've got just one senior on the roster. That's Addison Anderson, who played tonight and was fantastic. But I'm just hard-pressed to find where you're going to get some starting time because your starting lineup is probably going to be the same in 2024, 2025. Kennedy Quinn, Emma Gunther, Caden Quinn, Haley Redding, and Taylor Ford. Those are the starting 5 tonight, and that's likely going to be your starting 5 going into next year. Of course, a lot can change between now and then. Volleyball might have a lot to do with it. I don't know what's going on here, but maybe we'll see as we move along here. But, boy, what a year. What a year it's been. And this one capped off with the A-Town Tornadoes taking off not 1 but 2 from Annawan. Annawan coming in as the 3rd-ranked team, potentially, depending on who you ask. 3rd or 6th-ranked team in the state in Class 1A. And they pulled off a magical win in double overtime in the varsity game and cruised to a win here today in the JV game, 47-31, your final score. Let's take a look at the scoring breakdown for A-Town. If I can get to the right score sheet here. A-Town led in scoring by Miley Weber. She had 16 points here in this JV contest. 9 points for Tiana Hamilton. 9 points also for Addison Anderson, all from the three-point line. 3 points for Anna Servin. 4 points for Corey Anderson. Avery Stiegel had 6 points as well. So everybody chipping in for the JV side. I don't know what's going on here. I might have to listen a little bit here, and we'll see if we can get some of this action. But something's about to happen here. They put tarp down on the court. I think somebody's going to get a pie to the face if I had to guess. That would be my best guess. Uh-oh. I think somebody is going to get a pie to the face here. So anyway, let's quickly recap the the Annawan scoring leaders. Their scoring leader was Aaliyah Witt. She finishes this JV contest with 11 points. 9 points for Ella Anderson. It was 5 points for Bryn Harker. 4 points for Tyra Church. And 2 points for Aaliyah Hayes. And that's your scoring breakdown for the Annawan Bravettes in this season finale, the JV contest. And now our attention will turn to the postseason. There's pies coming in. Yes, somebody's getting a pie to the face, and it looks like maybe all the coaches, potentially. All right, I like to see that. It's going to be a lot of fun here. Wow, there's a lot of pies going to this poor man. Let's see if we can catch this on tape here. I'm going to do my best camera work. Of course, we're behind the scenes. But a lot of pies going into somebody's face here tonight, so I don't know what it is, but should be entertainment for you while we wrap up the regular season. The A-Town Tornadoes, the varsity team, finishing the year 23-7. Just a massive win tonight. I cannot stress how good that game was, the varsity game, to start the night off. I mean, it was a playoff atmosphere, just plain and simple. It looks like Addison Anderson, Coach Dugan, and I didn't hear who that is on the right there, but they're going to get a pie to the face as well. So, 23-7, though, the A-Town Tornadoes finishing off the regular season. They will take on the Princeville Princes coming up on Saturday in the regional quarterfinal, 3 o'clock. We'll go on the air around 2:50. That is the plan anyway. And, wow, what a pie in the face from Corey Anderson on Addison Anderson. I don't know if that was some pent-up frustration from the teammate, but Coach Dugan now gets it. I think we should have had the AD, Reed Kelso, getting pies to the face here. There's another pie to the face. I was going to talk to Coach Dugan after I signed off here, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Uh-oh, somebody else. Looks like they might be getting a pie to the face. There's Tiana Hamilton, left side. Well, you're not going to be able to see it because I'm not recording it, but now there's pies flying everywhere. Everybody's having some fun here tonight at A-Town High School. Why not? You deserve it. 23-7 to wrap up the regular season. They'll take on Princeville Saturday, 3 o'clock. Again, 2:50 the pregame show. And the winner of that game will have the unfortunate task of taking on West Central on Monday in Princeville, by the way. So if A-Town wins, oof, that's going to be a wild scene in Princeville. It's going to be a long drive, though, so you're going to have to really show up for these girls. But again, everything that's happening right there on the court, these girls earned it. There was a time, as I took, let me take a look back on the regular season rundown here before we sign off here. There was a stretch where the A-Town Tornadoes were playing some tough basketball, tough opponents at least, but they were still pulling it off, finishing the regular season 23-7. Their losses, those losses came against 2 losses against West Central, which, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. There's a reason why West Central's the number 1 seed in the conference, I believe. And there's a reason why. They're really, really good. And, you know, if A-Town wins on Saturday, they're going to have their hands full, to say the least. A-Town also lost to Illini West, a tough opponent. They lost here against Weathersfield, lost against Monmouth Roseville in a tough game. I mean, there's been a bunch of tough games that the A-Town Tornadoes have played in this season. Lost to DMAC, of course, just last week. But this team fought through some adversity near the end of the season, especially the fact that they had to switch around the start times. The varsity game started first because the team depth wasn't that great. They wanted to protect their varsity team, and a lot of their varsity team was playing on the JV team at the time. So that's why down the stretch we had the JV game take place afterwards. just in order to get the varsity players in, get their minutes in, and then whatever was left, you kind of have to deal with it as that moves on. But the A-Town Tornadoes fought through it, and despite the fact they didn't have a lot of depth coming off the bench, they still rattle off 23 wins, and that's all thanks to that man there in the middle, head coach Brent Dugan, doing an excellent job coaching these girls. And, of course, Kennedy Quinn, kind of the star of the show here in A-Town. She's going to be a star for many years to come. If you don't already know the name, get used to the name. Kennedy Quinn here in A-Town. She is special, and she was special here tonight, but so was Haley Redding tonight as well, finishing with a game-high 24 points as A-Town pulls off the miracle win in double overtime in the varsity game earlier this evening. So, yep, that's going to probably do it here tonight from A-Town. Been a lot of fun broadcasting these games throughout the regular season. Don't know how many we'll get to do during the postseason. We'll see what the old boss man says. And, of course, it will depend on who's left. And, as I've been following this team all season long, I kind of hope it's A-Town, as A-Town kind of has a special place in the heart after covering them for so long. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. The A-Town Tornadoes, though, one more home game here in Abingdon, at least. They will take on Princeville Saturday, 3 o'clock. Join us, 2:50 is when we'll go on the air for the pregame show and getting ready for the regional quarterfinal. But for our camera girl, Alyssa, who jetted out of here pretty quickly, and all of us here at A-Town High School, my name's Wyatt Reed. It's been an absolute pleasure broadcasting this one, not only tonight, but throughout the course of the regular season. Final score here in the JV game, 47-31, A-Town wins. A-Town also winning in the varsity game tonight, 66-62. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you Saturday afternoon from A-Town High School on TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH.